Good morning and welcome. I'm Tony Trongone, Superintendent, Pemberton Township Schools. And this is probably one of my favorite parts of the year, honoring our colleagues and all the things that you do each and every day. With that being said, I have a couple thank yous. I want to thank our meet and greet period. All that's outside, all the different pastries, and that's from Mr. John Machi and Mr. Rudy Zotter and their culinary arts students. Proud of the work that you do, folks. And then Miss Dawn Viveros and her students with all the floral arrangements. Yeah. Colonel Deborah Wilson and First Sergeant Gaskin for their parking detail and the color guard. And also Josh Lauder for his violist performance in the lobby. I always love hearing Josh. With that being said, I'm going to hand it off to our Pemberton Township High School principal, Mr. Educator Joseph. Mr. Joseph.
So it looks like we're back again this year. I know I did tell people that this is our last year. We're retiring this year. It's going to be somebody else. That being said, what we're going to ask, want to ask all the audience to please rise. We're going to be introducing our JROTC cadets, Gabrielle Dixon, Noel Nassif, Sebastian Damaris, Thomas Nicholas, and Austin Hitchner will be presenting the colors as well as hearing the national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, we're going to hear the Choraleers with a selection titled It Takes a Village, led by Christina Pinto.
It takes a whole village to raise our children. It takes a whole village to raise one child. We all, everyone, must share the burden. We all, everyone, will share the joy.
It takes a whole village to raise our children. It takes a whole village to raise one child. We all, everyone, must share the burden. We all, everyone, will share the joy.
It takes a whole village to raise our children. It takes a whole village to raise one child. We all, everyone, must share the burden. We all, everyone, must share the joy.
It takes a whole village to raise our children. It takes a whole village to raise one child. We all, everyone, must share the burden. We all, everyone, will share the
Thank you, Ms. Pinto and our Pemberton Choir. Great job. Now I'm going to say a few words. And yeah, obviously you see that the theme is you are remarkable. So I'll tell you all your award winners, our honorees, you are all remarkable. And you can see here our team did a fabulous job in this particular theme. And then as we were going over it, I didn't have any input on those signs that you see. But when we came together in this past week and we look at those words that are highlighted, and you do see, it is a school, so you see words like studious and scholarly, but what stands out is those other words that are highlighted: devotion, empathy, compassion, dedication, being a supporter. And I felt when Mr. Pinto and Ms. McNella, when we were going over that, I said, you guys, we resonate about what this Teacher of the Year event is. You know, it's not just about content and pedagogy. You know, it's not the framework for teaching with Danielson and domains 2 and 3. It's domain 4 if you have that particular system where it's about the relationships we have with kids and the community and our colleagues. And so, and those words make those connections with our colleagues and our students and our community. And so again, I will say to all of you, you are all remarkable, but I have a few people here that I want to recognize because I have a personal relationship with them. First is someone I've known for over 18 years. She's a Spanish teacher at Bordentown, Miss Cindy Wagstaff. Cindy, can you stand up? Where's she at? That's there she is. Cindy is someone I personally know that gets involved in her community. She's a board member. And we've had conversations, not about Cindy, but about her colleagues, about her students for years. And so to me, that's someone that's the extension of that content and pedagogy that goes on in the classroom. And that's why I think that she's recognized by her peers as Teacher of the Year in Bordentown. So Cindy, you are remarkable. The next person is I've known for over 43 years. Her name is Bev Forline. She's a guidance counselor at BCIT. Bev, can you stand up, please? Can you stand up one more time? Thank you. After 43 years, I get to tell her what to do. She's always bossing me around, trust me. Her husband's here. But again, Bev is another one who is truly remarkable in the sense that it's not just about her and what she does, but what she does for her class, her students, and the conversations we have about the outreach and making school relevant to them. But also all the other things she does outside of school and all her, with the March of Dimes and being a big sister. And that to me personally knows that she's making those connections, and that's an extension of the content and pedagogy that we all, you know, we want from our teachers and expect, but there's that something more. And so, Bev, you are truly remarkable. And then we have Joe Alinsky, who is a teacher at our Helen Fort Middle School. Joe, can you please stand up? Joe, I see from where I sit all the things that you do for the school behind, like I said, behind the scenes. And the work that you do with your colleagues and the work that you've done with the Character Ed program, but the whole tenor of the school, the things that you do to support your colleagues, your students, and the administration. So I want to say thank you, and you are truly remarkable. Thank you. And finally, Michael Patriarca. Where is he at? Is he here? All right, Mike, you can stand up for a little longer, Mike. I know Mike's dad. Is Dave here? Is the mayor here? I talked to him. He said, Mike didn't want to be recognized. And I'm here to tell you, Mike, no matter how old you are, you're never old enough for your parents not to see you being recognized as remarkable. So thanks for being here, and thank you for all you do. So that concludes my remarks for today. And I want to say bless you all. I hope you have a good time. We try to make it as festive as possible for all of you. I hope it's deserving of the efforts you put forth each and every day. So thank you. I want to turn it over now to my esteemed colleague from Lumberton Township Superintendent, Mr. Joseph Lingowski.
Before I start my comments, I'd like to just take a second to recognize Pemberton and give them a shout out. The place looks absolutely amazing, and they didn't have to host this. Lumberton should be doing that today, but we don't have the parking to accommodate that. So can we just recognize Pemberton Township Schools, please? Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, I have the privilege of being the father of 5 daughters. Yes, 5 daughters. In fact, our family will have a daughter in middle school for 13 consecutive years. I'll take a moment to let that sink in. Because of our family structure, I have read the mother-daughter book series on a number of occasions. And from that series comes the focus of my remarks today. Be bold, be brief, and be seated. Over my 26 years as a public school educator, it has become apparent that today, more than ever, Burlington County schools and educators are being called on to provide supports for far more children than ever before. In a career filled with alphabet soup and buzzwords, a few that come to mind are PARC, Common Core, NCLB, and Race to the Top. And it would be easy for us to fall into the trap to think that SEL, or social emotional learning, is a fad that will soon be replaced by the newest thing. Today, as I have the honor of introducing County Teacher of the Year, Melissa Antonoff, you will meet someone who knew about social emotional learning before it was even a thing. A visit to Melissa's classroom is a wonderful experience. The class functions as a village with high-level instruction and differentiated experiences for the children under her care. There is a palpable energy that is hard to quantify, but it is found in the most dynamic classrooms. Melissa is a reflective and passionate teacher who is always honing her craft. She was the first to show me an app for taking conferring notes. When the district unveiled a new learning portal, she offered to have a lesson videotaped. Data drives her decisions in her lesson planning. Everybody knew I would put the word data in there at some point in time. And when the Board of Education's committee wanted to see the new science program in action, Melissa volunteered her time and filled her classroom with over 40 students and parents on a Tuesday night. She is, by any evaluation tool or metric, an exemplary teacher. But the thing that defines her best of all is her commitment to the well-being of every child in her room. She understands the true value of feedback and finds a way to encourage her students while demanding their best. As an example, pictured to my right is the use of a Sharpie oil-based paint pen to leave notes on her students' desks. Who wouldn't want their child to hear, "You are kind to everyone. You make me proud"? With the realization that social emotional learning is not a fad, but rather the new norm, we would all do well to take a page from this year's County Teacher of the Year. Melissa, you are kind to everyone. It makes me proud. And it is my honor to introduce a third grade teacher from Ashbrook School in Lumberton, New Jersey, Mrs. Melissa Antonoff, the County Teacher of the Year.
Wow, that was amazing. Everyone should get a chance to hear that about themselves. In case you're wondering, this is the Sharpie. I just happen to have my school bag with me, and you could get it on Amazon. And it wipes off with disinfecting wipes. So congratulations. It is inspiring to be with all of you today. As the year winds down, there are only 26 days left for my district, but I would never count. I have to give myself a pep talk at this time every year. While I can't wait for summer to come and be able to go to the bathroom whenever I want to, I panic that I don't have more time to reach these kids that keep me up at night. The child that comes to school late or misses school altogether because she's homeless, and if she doesn't make the bus, she doesn't come to school. That child that has finally begun making strides, but it took me 150 days of school to get him there. That child that has been on some sort of behavior modification or many behavior plans all year long, and it took until now for him to be able to express that he's anxious and has trouble concentrating, and that's why he throws tantrums daily. I'm sure you're doing that too. That's why you're here today. Think about your favorite teacher. Who comes to mind right away? Why? No, really, think about that teacher. When I think about my favorite teacher, I realize I don't remember one thing she taught me. I just remember how she made me feel, right? My second grade teacher, Mrs. Mills, made me feel loved and valued every day. I just wanted to please her. I wrote to her after I went to third grade, and we became close. We stayed in touch, and she was one of the people I called when my fiance died of cancer when I was 25. We were close until she died in my late 20s, just before I met my husband, and it still hurts that I was never able to introduce her to my husband and children. I asked students in my school who their favorite teacher was and why, and I found 3 clear themes. The teacher tirelessly helped them with work until they understood the concept. The teacher made the student feel more self-confident, and the teacher recognized the child's mental health needs.
I love my teacher because she every time that I get the answer wrong, she's not like, yeah, you got the answer wrong. She's more like, oh, let me teach it, let me review it so you get it.
Third graders. We sometimes forget we usually know most of what we're teaching, and we've known it for a long time. For these kids, it's often the first time they're ever seeing this concept. The majority of students don't learn the first time we teach it. They need it the next day, and the next day, and then again, and some need it more often than that. We differentiate because every child has different needs. It would never occur to me to get angry that a child didn't get a concept, but evidently, in her short time in education, this third grader had a teacher that has, can you imagine? We forget the influence that we have on these kids. We invest in our students because we want them to be the best they can be, and they remember us because of it.
I appreciate this teacher because any time I was feeling down about myself, she would help me get back up again and make me feel confident about myself.
It is so important that our classes are safe places, right? How many times were we afraid to raise our hands as kids? I never raised my hand as a child. I didn't feel like I could admit I didn't know something and needed help. My teachers used to tell my parents at conferences, Melissa needs to raise her hand more. That wasn't going to do it. They needed to build a classroom environment that made me feel safe to admit I needed help. Most of my teaching is helping my students build confidence in themselves so that they're willing to take risks. Life is making mistakes and figuring out how not to do that again, right? If a child is willing to put herself out there, vulnerable, knowing we'll catch her if she fails and help her solve that problem, she will grow to be a confident, successful adult that can deal with adversity. And isn't that our goal? I've noticed in the last few years that I spend more and more time teaching children how to get along. You too? They're spending so much time on devices, they aren't outside learning to socialize. This is also a life skill. When a child has broken a rule, we usually give a consequence, right? Sometimes it's bad enough to be sent to the office for the principal to intercede. I still hate being called to the principal's office, and I have never been in trouble. It just has that connotation. When many of us began teaching, we gave consequences, they were followed, and then it was over. Remember assertive discipline? That was all the rage when I graduated from college. Now, I listen to both sides, and I'm finding the disagreement more and more often is about a misunderstanding that the kids are blowing up into something huge. I sit with the children and I talk about it. We role play what to do the next time this happens, because it will. When I started teaching in 1993, full-day kindergarten, 25 kids, and no aid, I didn't have to spend this much time teaching children how to get along with each other. Children won't be able to learn if they don't feel safe and happy. We need to nurture their social, emotional sides as much as their academic sides. We as educators are also learning more about our students' home lives and the effect that trauma has on a child. Especially in the last few years, we've seen an increase in anxiety and depression in our students, even the elementary ones. It's scary how many articles I've been reading about children committing suicide, elementary students. It terrifies me. Their brain is just one more part of their body that we need to help them take care of.
I love my teacher because she lets us take breaks and that relaxes my brain.
Along with frequent movement breaks like Go Noodle and Simon Says and all kinds of dancing, I do daily meditation with my students. And if I forget, they remind me. I found a free program online called Smiling Mind, and it's geared toward different age groups, so it's good. It works for every educator in this room. It used to be I would do relaxation techniques before the NJ Ask. It didn't occur to me to do it any other time. Now I've realized the kids' mental health is just as important as their physical well-being. Last year, a parent told me that her daughter, who is prone to screaming outbursts, stopped herself when she grew angry and announced she was going to her room to meditate. When she came out 10 minutes later, they were able to talk calmly, no screaming. I need to meditate more. We are a huge influence on our students. Like Uncle Ben told Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. We get the chance every 10 months to make a difference, one these kids will most likely remember the rest of their lives. Luckily, our kids have educators like you. Thank you.
Great job, Melissa. And now we're going to have up our Burlington County Education Association President, Mr. Anthony Rizzo. Come on up, Mr. Rizzo.
Good morning. I'd like to begin by asking you to think about a word and what that word means to you. The word is relationship. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, one of the definitions of relationship is the way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave towards each other. Now, are you thinking of a physical relationship or romantic relationship? A familial relationship with a child, sibling, or your parents? Or a casual relationship you might have with a neighbor or a friend? I want you to think about the relationship you have with the students that you come in contact with every day. Dr. James Comer, a professor of child psychology at Yale, wrote, "No significant learning can occur without a significant relationship." You have been selected by the students in your district as teacher or ESP of the year. You must have some relationship with them. They must have been compelled to nominate you above someone else. In the late Dr. Rita Pierson's inspirational TED Talk, and if you haven't watched it, you need to, she called upon teachers to build a relationship with their students, no matter how challenging the students may be. She describes a situation where a colleague once said to her, "They don't pay me to like the students. They pay me to teach a lesson. I teach it, the students learn it, I teach it, case closed." To which Dr. Pearson responded, "You know, kids don't learn from someone they don't like." Studies have found that strong student-teacher relationships were associated with improvements on practically every measure schools care about: higher student academic engagement, attendance, grades, fewer disruptive behaviors and suspensions, and lower school dropout rates. Teachers benefit from these relationships as well. A study in the European Journal of Psychology of Education found that a teacher's relationship with students was the best predictor of how much that teacher experienced joy or anxiety in the class. As a matter of fact, James Ford, 2015 North Carolina State Teacher of the Year, said our first job as teachers is to make sure we learn our students, that we connect with them on a real level, showing them respect and affirming their worthiness to receive the best possible education. Can we stand to have more relationships? Absolutely. Now I ask you to think about that word relationship again, and the relationship you have with your students. Most students won't remember what amazing lessons we prepared. They won't remember how beautiful or organized the bulletin boards were, how straight and neat the desks were. But they will remember you, your kindness, your empathy, your care and concern. They'll remember that you took the time to listen. Then you stopped to ask them how they felt, how they really felt. Will we like all our students? Oh no. You know, the toughest ones are never absent. However, they show up for a reason: the relationship they have with you. Dr. Pearson states, teachers come to work when they don't feel like it. We listen to policy that doesn't make sense, but we teach anyway. We teach anyway because that's what we do. Is this job tough? You betcha. But it's not impossible. We can do it. We're educators. We were born to make a difference. And I say, you make a difference with every relationship you foster in your students. Congratulations on being selected as teachers and ESPs of the year. Your students are proud of you. Your districts are proud of you. And I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Next up, we'll have our students from Harker Wiley Lower Elementary School singing Everyday Heroes, led by our staff members, Mr. Fian and Mrs. Holloway.
All around you can see
we're going to move into our next stage of our agenda, and it will be recognizing our teachers and ESPs of the year. That being said, I'm honored to bring up our students, Alyssa Bernardini and Tiernan Johnson. Tiernan and Alyssa.
So as they're coming up, I just want to share this brief experience that we had yesterday as we practiced names. So if your name is mispronounced, do not get too upset. So I know my youngest son, who's in 4th grade in the Burlington Township schools, he said to me maybe a year ago, "Dad, mistakes help you learn," right? So these mistakes will help them learn your names for the future, right? And then the other good thing is, as we were practicing superintendent's name, there were some with doctorates, but there was one that had a JD at the end, and we just had a laugh, right? Yes, it's an attorney, right? But one of them, I'm not going to mention which one, said, "Does that mean junior doctor?" So I said, "Yeah, let's not call him a junior doctor." You'll get upset. So once again, we have Tiernan Johnson and Alyssa Bernardini. Are you ready?
I'm gonna apologize right now. We did practice, but we're gonna do our best.
All right, so first off, we're gonna start with Bordentown Regional School District, and we're gonna ask the superintendent, Dr. Edward Forsthofer, to come up on stage. So after your name is called, just file down on the left side and go to the lobby. Teacher Lauren Brandy Mardo.
ESP Catherine DeVito.
ESP Helen Geiger.
ESP Noreen McBride.
ESP Stacy Melnick.
Teacher Michael Oliver.
Teacher Tara Planis Borgstrom.
Teacher Christina Rivera.
ESP Tuesday Robinson.
Teacher Cynthia Wagstaff.
All right, next up, City of Burlington Public School District. Superintendent, Dr. Patricia Darlady. Teacher Rebecca Butler.
Teacher Kristen Cosmo.
Teacher Sarah Datillo.
ESP Thomas Lemire.
ESP Joni Mayfield.
Teacher Janine McGravy. ESP Patty Taylor.
ESP Christian Weiss.
Now we're going to ask Burlington County Institute of Technology, introducing Superintendent Dr. Christopher Nagy. ESP Jennifer Daly.
ESP Beverly Forline.
Teacher Leah Hannon.
Teacher Heather Murrow.
We're going to have Burlington County Special Services School District. Superintendent Dr. Christopher Nagy. Teacher Karen Bakley.
Teacher Dean Bialu.
ESP Connie Garano.
Teacher Christopher Morris.
ESP Jackie Moss.
ESP Elise Newman.
ESP Kimberly Nuas Skeets.
Teacher Michael Patriarca.
ESP Dana Scannell.
Teacher Patricia Wilkins.
Next, we're going to have Burlington Township School District, Superintendent Mary Ann Bell. Teacher Diana Fiore.
Teacher Sean Fitzpatrick.
ESP Stephanie Kinney.
Teacher Ann Cohart.
ESP Teresa Ramos.
Teacher Jill Rocco.
ESP Janine Stefanski.
ESP Kate Solomon.
Cinnaminson Township Public Schools, Superintendent Stefan Capello. ESP Anthony Faltz.
Teacher Kimberly Klein.
Teacher Nancy Mulville.
Teacher Michael Noble.
Teacher Jeanette Oliver.
All right, next up we have Delran Township School District, Superintendent Dr. Brian Brotshaw. Teacher Caitlin Camo.
ESP Brian Crowley.
Teacher Michelle Fiorini.
Teacher Stacy Giuliani.
ESP Rose Larson.
Teacher Laura Spaeth.
Next up, we have Edgewater Park School District, Superintendent Dr. Roy Roksowski. Teacher Allison Karpovich.
Teacher Michelle Ram.
Next up, we have Florence Township School District Superintendent Donna Ambrosius. Teacher Michael Flynn.
Teacher Joseph Rapoli.
ESP Robin Kaminer.
ESP Linda Kramer.
Teacher Jacqueline McDermott.
Next, we have Lenape Regional High School District with Superintendent Dr. Carol Brinbaum. ESP Casey Bosler.
Teacher Judy Biciurelli.
ESP Stephanie Frazier.
Teacher Amy Johnston.
Teacher Kathleen Maher.
ESP Aaron O'Neill.
ESP Candace Robinson.
Teacher Gerald Sherlock.
ESP Teresa Williams.
Next up, we have Lumberton Township School District Superintendent Joseph Langowski. Teacher Patricia Brooks.
Teacher Brene Brown Holman.
Teacher Donna Gusrang.
ESP Amanda Lamprey.
Teacher Paul Travaglini.
Next, we have Mansfield Township School District with Superintendent Tiffany Modis. Teacher Stacy Brophy.
Teacher Deborah Hart.
ESP Heather Fain.
ESP Jamie Samansky.
Next, we have Maple Shade School District with Superintendent Beth Norcia. Teacher Nicole Fargno.
ESP Mark Fields.
ESP Kim Grace.
Teacher Bobby Lynn Loomis.
ESP Lisa Manria.
Teacher Maureen Maxwell.
Teacher, I'm so sorry. Teacher Sarah Mayo.
ESP Lisa Muniz.
Next, we have Mount Holly Township Public School District with Superintendent James D. Donato. ESP Elizabeth Fanaroa.
ESP Mary Ann Harris.
Teacher Natalie Izzy.
Teacher Erica Paolucci.
Teacher Tim Ryan.
ESP Nicole Smith.
Next, we have Palmyra Public Schools with Superintendent Brian McBride. ESP Linda Fruitier.
Teacher Jeffrey Moore. I was like, wait.
There we go. Teacher Christina Stagliano.
ESP Barbara Webb.
Next, we have Pemberton Township Schools with Superintendent Tony Trangone. ESP Eileen Alexander.
ESP Susan Austin.
ESP Kim Berry.
Teacher Diane Bracero.
ESP Sheila Brewer.
ESP Jennifer Caruso.
ESP Anna Donovan.
Teacher Joe Alinsky.
ESP Crystal Gardner.
Teacher Thomas Hopfner.
Teacher Faggy Lerner.
Teacher Kristen Ludman.
Teacher Kathleen Mangas.
Teacher Mildred Miller.
Teacher Vanessa Morris.
ESP Andre Munford.
Teacher Susanna Pasquilici.
Teacher Julia Shaney.
ESP Amy Stolsheimer.
ESP Heather Werner Hussman.
ESP Donna Walker.
Teacher Jill Wolf.
Okay, we're gonna have Rancocas Valley Regional School District with Superintendent Dr. Christopher Heilig. Teacher Jared Phillips.
ESP Jennifer Rosenthal.
Riverside Township Public School District Superintendent Robin E. Rich. Teacher Mary Jo Horton.
Teacher Bill Giacomanis.
Teacher Leah Laluleta.
Next up, we have Riverton School District Superintendent Mary Ellen Eck. Teacher Karen Park.
Next, we have Chemung Township School District with Superintendent Dr. Christine Vespi. ESP Heather Cosper.
ESP Sherry Duboff.
Teacher Diana Haas.
Teacher Rochelle McCrae.
Next is Southampton Township Schools with Superintendent Michael Harris. Teacher Mary Ann Bill.
Teacher Stephanie Hanna.
Teacher Lauren Karpovic.
Next up, we have Tabernacle Township School District Superintendent Glenn Robbins. ESP Bridget Bauer.
Teacher Linda Carr.
Teacher Stasia Delaney.
Teacher Annalisa Regatz.
Next, we have Westhampton Township School District Superintendent Dr. Anthony Petruzzelli. Teacher Tricia Farrell.
Teacher Christine Nymak.
Next, we have Willingboro School District Superintendent Dr. Ronald Taylor. Teacher Jeanette Adams.
ESP Morella Bariotti.
ESP Sharon Coleman.
Teacher Kia Collar.
ESP Sonora Dance Lowther.
Teacher Allison Graff.
ESP Linda Hellam.
ESP Daniela Hawley.
Teacher Tomika Lamb.
Teacher Jamika R. Lemon.
Teacher Denton Myrie.
Teacher Patricia Neiswender.
ESP Tonda Seals.
ESP Carolyn Soto.
Teacher Michelle Ann Spring.
ESP Asha Woodard.
So did they do a great job of the names? Thank you, Tiernan. Thank you, Alyssa. Good job. We're now going to have our Pemberton Early Childhood Center choir here. They're going to load up on the risers. Make sure we get a big ah when they come out. While they're waiting to be stationed on the risers, I want to recognize our board members. Miss Wanda Knox, can you please stand? Board Vice President, Mr. Tom Bauer. And Board President, Mr. John Willits. And then I see in the pink our PTEA President, Miss Kathy Vogel. So this is Miss Hollings and Miss Miller, and our students are going to sing "You Are My Sunshine." Great job, kids. Great job. Look at them smiles. And now we're going to have closing remarks by our Burlington County Executive Superintendent, Mr. Darrell Minus Vincent. Darrell.
Let's clap once again for the children. And thank you once again for Pemberton for hosting such a great program. Once again, kudos. Thank you. And good morning to everyone out here, teachers and education support professionals. You deserve a great round of applause. On behalf of Commissioner Repillette and the entire Department of Education, we want to thank you for your dedication to our students here in Burlington County and for being true champions for education inside the classroom and beyond. As you leave here today and go back to your schools, we are confident that students are well cared for and in great hands. Education is a very tough job. It's mentally, physically, and intellectually taxing. But your recognition today is surely proof that you recognize students, their needs, and how they learn today in 2019. You know that the world is different. Therefore, educators are required to teach in different and innovative ways that will resonate. Your dedication truly, truly shows. Now, as the county superintendent, I confidently rely on you every day. For in my world, my position, I no longer have the opportunity to spend every day in a school. However, when I do, I am continually impressed by the quality of the school educators and students in the exchanges between the two. As a recent and very, very true example, I greatly appreciate the opportunities when invited to do such events as Read Across America. Each year, I find it enjoyable. However, this year was particularly memorable, and it was due to two seniors who were tasked with escorting me from place to place as I read to the students, go from classroom to classroom. As we spent the day together, I learned that one young man had plans to attend college, and the other was going to trade school. I thought we would spend our time together discussing their futures, but they quickly turned the tables on me. And the interviewer quickly became the interviewee. They posed intelligent, bold, and very confident questions. It was this, combined with their fresh outlook on life, that left a positive and lasting impression on me. They first queried, "What do you do for a living, sir?" And when I thought I had provided a satisfactory answer, it was quickly followed up, "Well, why did you choose to do that? Why do you want to work with kids?" And it was those types of questions that made me realize that I needed to be on my A game for these kids, for these students today, for these young men. It was their very deliberate nature that let me know that this day, this moment was going to be a memorable one, and that we all had much to teach and much to learn from one another. As the day continued, with us taking turns learning about one another's lives, I remember one student in particular, he volunteered in a very strong voice, "I'm never, ever going to get married," just out of the blue. And he was armed with all of the research that a young, budding scientist who scopes the internet could provide. He followed his assertion with several key points. The US divorce rate per 100 married women. Almost 50% of all marriages in the US will end in divorce. Estimates show that 41% of all first marriages end in divorce, and also the US has the 6th highest divorce rate in the world. Go figure. So after my initial shock, I struggled to understand why he was telling me this. Perhaps it was the wedding ring I wear on my finger, big and bold. You could probably, I'm sure, see it from here. And I searched to find an appropriate response, one that captured my views while not condemning his views, and not stepping over that line that some of us sometimes sort of teeter on when we take a chance with a student, yet also being authentic and transparent. So during the course of the day, in between the reading to the younger students, I continued to chat with them. The other young man raved about his girlfriend and their future plans and the family they wanted to have, so totally juxtaposed to the other young man, my young data friend. So we talked about values in sports, and our discourse was respectful, honest, but yet real. And this is just my small example of what you deal with every day with multiple students all at once. These interactions cannot be taught in a college classroom or a graduate school methods course. It comes from being open, honest, and interested in your students. And obviously, these students, by their demeanor, have some great educators along the way in Burlington County, working with them. So as I close, I think we all recognize that students are no longer just looking for the right answer. They want to know more, like how you reach a certain conclusion. I remember, and I'm sure you can remember, when your teachers, your math teachers in particular, always said to you, it doesn't matter that you got the right answer. I want to see the work. I want to see how you solve the problem. Well, now it's flipped. Students want to see the work from you as teachers and educators. They are pushing us to think differently, to teach differently, to interact with them very differently. And as students have changed the formula, you have developed new ways to engage them where they initiate the discussion and dictate the content. So ultimately, you are the teachers and education support professionals who are ready to teach, learn, grow, and provide a safe environment for students as they strive to uncover who they are, who they want to be as a person and as a professional. A teacher quote I'll end with: I have learned that although I am a good teacher, I am a much better student. And I was blessed to learn valuable lessons from my students on a daily basis. They taught me the importance of teaching to a student and not to a test. So thank you for all that you do. Oh, I just found out. Each district can go home with your remarkable highlighter that you see back there. So you can take it home, compliments of this guy right here.
This concludes the ceremony. I want to thank you all, and God bless you all. Thank you.